Hi, Lee Phillips here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm an attorney and I want to talk about a question that I get quite often. The gurus tell you that you should put each one of your real estate investment properties in a different LLC. And is that good? Yeah, that's good from an asset protection standpoint. No question that it's better to have one egg in each one of your baskets instead of a bunch of eggs in one basket. Basically the concept. However, you can't manage the paperwork associated with 6 trillion LLCs. If you've got 20 properties and you've got a separate LLC for each property, you're going to drown in your own paperwork. Now the lawyers, they'll love to do that for you because they get to then charge you for 20 LLCs. Great deal, right? Yeah, if you're the lawyer. Well, you've got to get a tax ID number. You've got to file a tax return. You've got to do the paperwork with the state and pay the fees. And if you're in those foreign countries like New York and New Jersey and California, then you're paying a lot of money for one of your LLCs every year in the state fees. So these all add up. If you've got 20 California LLCs, you're looking at what, like $17,000, $18,000 in legal in state fees every year? You can't do that. But in addition to that, you can't do the paperwork. You just drown in your own paperwork. So what I suggest is that you make a logical division of your properties and create a basket to hold those kind of properties. Create another basket to hold a different type. If I've got 3 single-family rental units and 1 apartment, fine. Let's put the apartment in one LLC and the 3 single families in another. Or if I've got some high-end single families, let's put those in one. And if I've got a bunch of Section 8 low-end stuff, let's put them in another one. Divide up logically. If I've got some properties in Ohio and some properties in Florida, let's have one in Florida and one in Ohio. By the way, refer to the YouTube on where do you put your LLC, which state do you put it in. You're going to have an LLC that's in Ohio that registers in Florida, or you're going to have one in Ohio and one in Florida. Your LLC has to have a presence in each state, a legal presence, in order to exercise the legal rights afforded that LLC in that state. No official registration, no rights. That's another story. But as to how many LLCs make logical decisions and then form LLCs based upon those logical decisions. And if you've got 20 residentials, well, that's probably too many for one LLC. $4 or $5 million in assets. I've heard that. I've said that. But just make it logical. I mean, if one of your rental properties is in a real risky neighborhood and everybody in that neighborhood sues everybody else, fine. Put that one in its own LLC. Because the assets in that LLC are subject to the liabilities that each one of those assets create. That whole basket is at risk. I can't really give you more information than that because I don't know your situation. But you can think it out. You can do it. Just be logical and don't go overboard. I had a couple of doctors from Long Beach call me up long ago, and they said that one of the lawyers had talked them into doing a different family limited partnership. That was what we often used before LLCs. Don't use the family limited partnership anymore. Use the LLC. But the guy had talked him into setting up 53 limited partnerships. And he'd only charged him $5,000 per limited partnership. And he had said, you don't want these family limited partnerships to be in California because it's $850 a year for the filing fee. You want them to be in my state. And you need a registered agent for that state, so I'll be your registered agent. In fact, I'm an accountant too. I'm going to do all the taxes. And I know I've told this story before on my YouTube channel, but it makes the point. He only charged them $1,500 to act as the registered agent and to do the taxes. That's $1,500 per family limited partnership. I don't know if you're doing the math, but these two doctors called me up and they said, Phillips, we're not worried about asset protection anymore. Our lawyer has all of our money. How do we get out of this? So don't go overboard. Be logical. This is Lee Phillips talking about how many properties or how many LLCs you have if you're a real estate investor.